to my NFL record prediction show where I go through every single NFL record and give you a prediction for it. It's pretty simple. And the last division that we have to talk about in this 8-part series that has lasted about a month or so is the AFC West. I have saved the AFC West for good reason because it's one of the best divisions in football of potentially all time. I think that this division is going to be uber competitive. There's no doubts that any of these 4 teams could easily win the division, and any of these 4 teams could end at the bottom of their division. I do apologize if this video is a little bit shorter, though. I do have a couple of videos I have to get out today. I mean, we are talking, this is the first day of NFL football. I'm super excited. We have the Rams versus the Bills, a super exciting matchup that I want to talk about for the first day of football, as well as I got a couple TikToks to record. If you don't follow my TikTok, I have really upped my content on that side of the ball, especially with college football. That's where I post a lot of my college football content because it's real easy to get that stuff out, and I think I get a better audience on TikTok when it comes to college football versus when I talk about college football here. And if you have more college football interest, I do help host a show with Player's Choice. It's Player's Choice Gridiron or Player's Choice College Football. We do a show every Saturday at, I believe, around 9 p.m. Eastern. Time kind of fluctuates. I'll give you a more accurate time throughout these couple weeks when we're starting to figure out all the little things about it. But let's just get straight into this video. I don't want to be here for super long. We got to talk about the Raiders and how they're going to be 4th place in this division. Even though this is easily the best division in football and probably the most competitive, I think it's pretty straightforward with what my predictions are. I think I just don't have to really elaborate super in depth because these are just predictions. This is what I think is going to happen. So I don't believe that the Raiders have a good enough secondary to get stops at crucial points to win football games. I think they're going to have to play a lot of shootouts, and I don't think that's going to be an easy way to win, especially with Josh McDaniels, someone who I'm not very high on. I think that they have added a ton of great pieces. Every single team in this division, though, has added pieces, except for the Chiefs, who have lost a couple, but I'll get into the Chiefs in a little bit. I think, yes, you get Devontae Adams with Derek Carr. That's a fantastic pairing. They play college ball together. I believe they're roommates. It's a fantastic pairing. I'm not going against that. But the offensive line is very, very shaky. I don't like that. I don't like that the secondary could easily get burned in a passing league. Do they have a good enough pass rush to consistently get to the quarterback, so maybe that can negate some of the faults that they have in the secondary? Of course, but I'm predicting that the secondary is going to be the biggest weak point on this defense, and it's going to cost them a couple of games. I don't believe that they're going to have a good enough running game. If anything, I think that Josh McDaniels might not even use Josh Jacobs correctly. I'm not very high on this offense. I think, well, I love the weapons. I don't think the offensive coordinator or the head coach is going to be able to use these weapons to the fullest extent. They were in a ton of close games last year. Every single year, there's a playoff team that doesn't make it the same year. I think that the Raiders are not making the playoffs this year. It's so difficult to have 4 teams in the entire division make the playoffs. And I think one of these 4 teams is going to be left out, and it's going to be the Raiders. I'm sorry. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments pleading your case on why the Raiders are going to make the playoffs. But I guess it's a hot take to some people. I don't think the Raiders are a contender. I don't think that they should be even in the conversation for a pretender. I think that they're going to be out of the playoffs this year. They're going to be one of the biggest disappointments in the NFL, and I'm willing to stand on this hill. But with my 3rd place team, moving on, we're going to get straight into it, is the Denver Broncos. If the Denver Broncos were in any other division, say the AFC South, I would have them in 1st place easily. I think there's a lot of divisions in the NFL. If you put the Broncos in there, they win the division. I'm super high on Russell Wilson. I am a Seahawks fan. I have only good things to say about Russell Wilson, even though week 1 he goes into Seattle, and I hope Geno Smith kicks his ass. I think that, yes, Russell Wilson going to the Broncos makes this team significantly better, but there's a lot of unproven talent here that we're talking about. Bradley Chubb is going to have to return to his 2020 form after having a disappointing 2021 season, which I believe he was filled with injuries and things of that nature. Courtland Sutton had a fantastic, I believe, 2019 or 2020. He has to step up. I really hope so because I have both Russell Wilson and Courtland Sutton on my fantasy team. Jerry Jeudy has all the potential in the world as a route runner. He has to prove it on the field with actual statistical numbers. Javonte Williams showed a lot of flashes as a rookie running back with Melvin Gordon in the backfield. The offensive line is pretty above average. I think that the defense, especially with Patrick Surtain, who I think is going to cement himself into a top 5 cornerback situation. Justin Simmons just got the bag. I think that there's so many good pieces on this team. Just when I look at the other teams in this division, I have more trust with the Chargers. I have more trust with the Chiefs that they're going to continually win games. I think that the Broncos have a really easy start and a really difficult finish on the schedule. It's not like that there's like a 3-game difference between these teams. I think there's only going to be a couple games, but those are going to be the ones that matter the most when it comes to the rankings. They're going to be in the playoffs, in my opinion. I have 3 teams from the AFC West making the playoffs, and the Broncos are one of them. So if you're mad at me, take a deep breath. You might get mad at me during the playoff prediction show, which I'm going to record right after this, trying to get them all out before week 1. You might see the playoff prediction show on Friday. I just want to get the recording done before any games actually happen. Not like one game is going to sway my opinion completely, but I love what the Broncos have. I just think they have a lot of unproven talent. I think I like, Nathaniel Hackenberg. I think he's a good head coach. He's unproven. He's a rookie head coach. So I'm just guessing that he's going to be a good head coach because of the position that you put Rodgers in. I think that Russell Wilson has to get an MVP vote this year if they make the playoffs, just because of how difficult this division is. And moving on to the second place team, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. Like I said, we're speed running through these teams. The Los Angeles Chargers are second place in my opinion, having the exact same record as the Chiefs. I believe when I did my predictions, the Chiefs just had a tiebreaker with the Chargers, and that's not shocking to me. I think that the Chargers are in for a fantastic year. They've done everything right in the offseason. Only problem I have, and you might call me crazy for this, it's the Chargers. I have so much faith on teams like the Clippers and the Chargers, and they always leave me hanging. I don't know what it is. For some reason, somehow, some way, this team is going to disappoint me just a little bit. I think that they're easily going to make the playoffs, so anything short of that would be seen as a massive disappointment. Justin Herbert should be in the MVP conversation. This offense is going to be electric. I have Austin Eckler on my fantasy team. I think that they are going to have a massive year, but for some reason, there's something telling me that they're going to somehow not win this division. Getting J.C. Jackson, Khalil Mack, Joseph Day from the Rams, everyone knows that the Chargers had a fantastic offseason. They got one of my favorite running back prospects, even though he hasn't looked great in the preseason, Isaiah Spiller from my favorite college football team. I mean, there's so much to like about the Chargers, but when I was doing the record prediction, I was like, man, they're going to lose just one random game. And one random game in this division can cost you a slot in winning this division. I have so much respect for the Chargers and what they have done. If this defense is as good as advertised, as good as on paper, their ceiling is 15-2. But I have them going 12-5. I think that this team could easily be a Super Bowl contender. We'll talk about it in the playoff predictor. I have not much to say. We know what the Chargers are. They just have to prove it to me on this field. I don't want to put all my chips in on the Chargers because I have so much faith with the first place team. The team that has the best quarterback in football, the best play caller in football, former Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs. I would also like to shout out my mom. One of her favorite commercials of all time, I don't know if y'all remember, was involving the Chiefs. This was before they had Patrick Mahomes. It was a guy that was painting the Chiefs on their touchdown line. He was painting, spelling it out, and he goes, the Chefs. And it was one of my mom's favorite commercials. She doesn't follow football too much, but when she would watch it was one of her favorite things. She's a big Seahawks fan. She's from Seattle, but I think if she had to pick a second team, it'd probably be the Chefs. And so I think that when we look at the roster, moving past that story, this is a roster that lost a lot this offseason. You lose Tyreek Hill, probably one of the most, if not the most dynamic playmaker in all of football. And yet I still have them at first place at 12-5, winning a tiebreaker over the Chargers. Here's why I believe in them. They have retooled this roster to fill the needs that was not possible last year. I love their defense. I love George Karlaftis. I think George Karlaftis, the Greek freak, was one of the best pickups this year. I think they have revamped with Justin Reed. Tyrann Mathieu was one of the most overrated players in football last year. Justin Reed, I think, is one of the most underrated safeties in all of football from the Texans because he was on the Texans. Not a lot of people talked about him. I think Ladarius Sneed could easily break out into a really solid corner. I think that their pass rush is, as long as Chris Jones is on the field, right? We are making these predictions as if everyone is healthy. Chris Jones on that field makes all the world of a difference. That defense is going to be streaky at times. I believe that they're going to be able to win them some games. I believe there's going to be times where they lose some games. And what I saw in the preseason is something that got me really excited about the Chiefs. I believe that they're going back to the offense that won them a Super Bowl. A lot more I form, a lot more dink and dunk. They learned their lesson from last year's first half of the season, which had them losing a lot of games. A lot of people were concerned that Patrick Mahomes was getting washed or that they had figured them out. And I believe it's on the contrary. I believe that honestly, they're going to go to a dink and dunk offense. Juju Smith-Schuster, they're going to have the speed with MVS. They're going to be able to stretch the field still. They still have Travis Kelce, who is one of the best weapons in all of football. I'm not worried about the Chiefs. I'm not worried. And I will die on this hill because my MVP pick is in this division. I'm not going to tell you. You can make an assumption, but my MVP pick is in this division. And I'll let you figure it out. But thank you so much for watching if you're at this point in the video. I'm sorry. I wanted this video to be 18 minutes long, but I don't have the time to edit an 18-minute video because I have so much to get through today. And I have the Chiefs winning the division. I got the Chargers getting second place. I got the Broncos at third, and I got the Raiders at 4. Let me know who you would pick for this division to win it. And let me know who you got winning the Super Bowl today. I think that you're going to be able to see this video on Thursday. It is back. Football is back, guys. I'm so excited. You're going to get so much content from a week-to-week basis. And go follow the TikTok, go follow the Twitter, and be excited because this is just the beginning. And leave a sub and come join me on this journey to 1,000 subs. We are going to hit that one day, and I fully believe that you can help me hit that goal. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.
Pop.